Can you hear my mic?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
dinner
can hear.
was a bit delayed. We got a couple people that sit down with us, and conversation carried on a bit much, and I didn't have my watch on me. Sorry about
Oh, no
that.
worries. No, that's fine. What are you down there for? Just vacation?
I'm just experiencing good weather, man. I guess we can
Yeah.
call it vacation. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I keep
kind of want.
forgetting like there's snow in Canada.
Yeah, there is snow in Canada and darkness.
Right.
Shitty
Yeah.
drivers too. Yeah, all the above.
How long are you down there for?
10 days.
Yeah, like a
10
resort or
days.
something.
A wellness center. So
Oh yeah.
not like a all inclusive resort where you get like a bunch of booze or whatever, but our meals are all covered. We got accommodations. We got yoga every morning. We got yoga every other day in the afternoon. Kakaya ceremony, detox, massage, night tour of the jungle. We're pretty much in the jungle, so it's
That's good.
interesting.
That I would like to do something like that sometime.
Well, we can go, man. If you ever want to head somewhere, got the
Yeah.
free time.
I would also like a couple like if there was like a gym with like regular gym equipment and maybe like a running trail. Those are like a couple things that would also be nice. I don't know
So
if
more of
like that would
a
require like
resort
more
for you.
land and stuff. But I
Yeah,
like
more
the
of a
idea. I don't
resort
know.
for you.
I don't want to be like around the drinking people or like the tourists. Like I would want it to be sort of like a meditation thing. Except if I don't like work out for like a period of time, I would start to feel like I'm not really. I would feel a bit like lazy or something almost. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
could go all in on just being like mindful.
Well, the yoga. Yoga is training. You keep the
Yeah, the
body
yoga would
strong
not
with
be so
yoga.
bad. Yeah,
The run. I
but it's
heard.
like a bit of like strength stuff.
There's a couple ladies here that are running, but it's like you look at the incline. It's super hilly because there's some like paved roads with this type of
Yeah.
asphalt. I don't think it has the same blend that we would have in Canada because we got winter. It's like just a simpler blend of asphalt.
Huh.
So they pave that through the jungle, and I guess maybe they run on that, but I'm not sure because everything's steep. There's not a lot of flat terrain
Yeah.
here.
And sometimes there's sort of like a secure area, and then there's like you don't really know about how crime works. Like if you go like off the official property or something. Sometimes I get that impression.
Yeah, we just like strolled into town to the lake. We had this dog that escorted us. It was pretty cool. We've named him Tiger because it was a type of bulldog. I'm not sure exactly, but he had like tiger stripes, which was really cool. It was a neat experience,
It's
man.
just like an actual tiger.
Yeah, just escorted us, walked with us,
Huh.
showed us the way, and then came back with us too, which was really cool.
Spirit animal.
Yeah, oh, it's good stuff. It's healthy food. Everything's like grown here. It's like a bio farm, as they call it, organic. So like you can actually see where everything's grown and everything just pulled from here and um yeah, put on the table.
What's the
So
cacao ceremony you mentioned?
like chocolate, we make our own chocolate.
Yeah, I've heard of
So
those ceremonies. Is it
yeah,
and is like is the ceremony part of it like pretty done up?
I'm not sure. I'll let you know.
That'll be cool. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
kind of thing that I like. Like the more like formality and like formality, ceremony, like ritual that's in it, I feel like it could be pretty cool if there was like some whole process to it. Like it really felt like an event or something.
Yeah. It might be.
Yeah.
As you like
Yeah,
sit
if you get
around and there's like a fire
it's
and then we
interesting
get there.
like everyone, has like expectations and you sort of got to like set people's expectations and that's an interesting thing where like if people show up they're like a little bit shy, you don't know what sort of state of mind they're in, but if like somehow if you wanted to do like an actual ritual and people to take it like seriously and be like like concentrated, then you'd have to like prime them somehow, and that's sometimes kind of difficult, like taking people from like wherever they are, like tired or whatever, and like getting them in the right mind state for like the experiences that's going to happen. It's interesting trying to think like how do you sometimes, like, if there's like a specific room or like an altar or something, like things that visually like make people realize like, oh, this is like a formal ceremony, but if you don't have that stuff, if you're just like doing like giving like a speech before the activity, trying to like get people into like this like Zen mindset, that would require some like tricky wording.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect for this.
Yeah. I've heard of
I
someone
don't.
that he's like, he goes to different conventions and he does his own, like, I think he like declared himself like like an a cacao ceremony like official or something, and he like whenever he goes to like a conference, he'll add like a bonus activity, and then he just like in his hotel room or something, he just does a cacao ceremony. And I don't know what he does for it, like I think he has some kind of thing he recites or something like that, but it sounded kind of like a neat thing, like each time you might get better at the ceremony, and then like people could do it once or like come back, do it again, and it's just like some kind of activity to share with other people.
Who's this guy?
Just a random guy. I forget, maybe on a podcast I heard it or something, but it was just like he just goes to a lot of conferences, like I think in software or something. But usually
Uh,
conferences, they have like after hours activities or whatever, or like maybe he knows like groups of friends, and it's just like some kind of activity to do, almost like a little like it's like just a themed meditation almost, but he is using like coca or whatever, cacao.
that is interesting. Not related to computers at all. Huh. Interesting that he pulls that off.
Yeah. It is a good, like, it's in like everybody likes chocolate and activities, formal activities. It's like
Yeah.
it seems like a not a hard thing to add to any situation. Like, it doesn't take much to like pull it off. And it's like a thing that people could mention, and it sounds kind of like exciting. Like you mentioned, like this is what I did on my vacation or whatever. Like, uh, it's like a notable, interesting sounding thing, like a
Yeah,
conversation starter or something.
for sure. There's a detox. Yeah, I already mentioned all this, but there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I kind of hear people talk about it, but I don't know. Not until I get there. I don't know.
There's a detox during the ceremony.
Nah, separate.
Separate,
I
yeah.
think it's something to do with our feet and
Yeah.
I don't know, darkness leaving us or something through our feet. I don't know. I thought it was like someone was saying once upon a time that shit's a scam, and they just like it's the stuff that's in the bath for your feet that
Yeah.
eventually changes color over time. And it's not actually toxins that leave our body, because why would our toxins leave our body through our feet? It's
Yeah.
gonna leave our body through what perspiration, piss, shit, that kind of stuff. So like
Yeah,
toxins are
there's
stored in
another,
our
yeah.
fat and then it's released into our system
Yeah.
and processed by the liver. And then where does it go? Broken down and sent out through, as I just mentioned. So like why would it exit through our feet?
Yeah, I
Anyway,
figure like a lot of these things are like the effect that you get from it is like the placebo effect, but that's like a real effect. So that's kind of the interesting part of it, is that like there's all these different like ceremonies and massages and like sort of detox like things, uh and you can sort of like, if you just like decide to like do it, then you will receive like a benefit that is not from the activity itself. It's just like, whenever we allow ourselves to like relax and feel good and feel like we're healing, then we just do, because it's less stress and stuff like that. uh and it's only bad if someone's like trying to really like sell, like crank up the price on some magical cure. But if it's just like all included anyway, it's just activities, it's just meeting people, then it's just like some background stuff going on to like feel some variety. uh and the benefits are there, but they're not, they're just like there because we're just relaxing. Not, it's not magic, but
Hmm.
it's interesting. But that's what I like about like the chocolate ceremony. Almost is like because chocolate is such like a like we eat chocolate or whatever, we like it, and it sometimes it makes us feel good because there's sugar in it, and then to combine that with like a like a relaxing ceremony where you're very present and you're sharing that with other people. That seems powerful because it's just taking like a fun thing that already is fun to eat anyway. Like, worst case, you're just eating chocolate and then layering on all the benefits of like just feeling more present and awake and stuff like that is, I feel like that's an interesting event.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Yeah, we saw some sort of contraption on our little walk today. Like these two, I don't know, cylinders with some pegs on them, and it looks like it looks like you would crank something through them and it would squeeze the shit out of it. So that might be for the coca. Now that I think about it,
Could be.
and why do we call it coca? We call
Yeah,
it
I don't know.
coca. Like we were calling it the caca. Caca.
I think
You
there's
know.
I think cocoa is like I think cacao is like the original raw ingredient, and then cocoa
Mhm.
is after we've like done something to it to make it like actually sweet and sugary. And like cacao is like I don't even think maybe that it tastes good because it's not like processed or something, but it's
Hmm.
like the original ingredient.
Well, we'll see. I'll ask if it's edible as is and try it out.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Because I
I've
saw
watched like a or yeah, go ahead.
like when they process it in Africa.
Right.
They got like strip villages that are dedicated to doing this shit, and it's quite the labor. They
Oh, it's
gotta
got
like
flavor?
dehydrate it, press it. No labor.
Oh, the labor, yeah.
It's a labor. Yeah.
Yeah, like what I heard was in those villages where they're like farming it, like a lot, like the big chocolate companies like Nestle, they purchase obviously like a lot from those villages, and they don't really pay like a super fair rate. And a lot of those farmers like have never like actually eaten like chocolate, like the final product, so they don't even know. Like their whole life is just like farming cacao and then shipping it off, and like they've never tasted like the actual chocolate that it tastes good. That's the final product. And that's like a funny thing, like to spend your life making the raw ingredient for like chocolate, which everybody likes, and then like to never even have tasted like the the actual good part of it.
Yeah, or you do all that labor and
Yeah.
you get paid peanuts, and then it takes you like 3 days worth of work to buy a fucking chocolate bar, the end
Yeah.
product, because of the final
Uh,
price. I don't know the
I feel like
numbers,
that
so
should be your
oh,
bonus. Like when they should give you like the chocolate bar as like a yearly bonus on top of your wage,
fuck.
and just like
You're
just
right.
so you have something.
Become a currency there, man. If it doesn't melt, square of chocolate, pay the rent.
Yeah, like gold.
uh, Straight up, chocolate becomes the new gold.
But people can't stop eating it, and they're like, and it's like their money, and people are eating it.
Yeah. So yeah, I needed to get the heck out of the northern hemisphere, man. Like I don't know how people endure that shit anymore. It's so bad for our health. It's super toxic and destructive to our
The
well-being.
cold, in general.
Ugh. There are arguments that the cold and put adding stress to our body
Oh yeah.
actually helps increase longevity. However, I haven't seen those studies. I heard that they exist. It's the darkness, the lack of sunlight. It's,
Yeah.
the way suburbia is and the way everything's structured there. Like the fact you need a car to do anything, which is your pet peeve.
Yeah.
It's cold, it's barren, it's dark, isolated, tons of people, but they're all,
Wrapped up,
you
yeah, in
know,
their
they're all
boxes.
wrapped up and they're all plugged into the matrix. That's what it feels like.
So
Seriously.
what's the sunlight hours where you are now? like early morning to late?
5:30, then sun rises, and
That's
then
good.
it sets um, 6 something, and it's consistent, right? Because we're
Yeah.
right near the equator,
Yeah.
so it just doesn't matter in the season. It's what's interesting though is I was expecting this to be the dry season, and where we are, it's a lot of rain, but it's warm. So like we get drizzle on us, but it's like refreshing and no mosquitoes. Like it's a couple in the morning were trying to get me. I think the fucking ants got me more than anything else. We got a bunch of fire ants around here. Am I looking at one right now on the ceiling? I think that is a fire ant. How'd that get in? Oh, there's another one. Oh my god, there's ants everywhere. Shit. Oh god. Yeah, I'll be fine. As long as they're up there and not coming after me. Yeah. So where was I going with that? Yeah, it's just and plus like the landscape's really nice and there's clouds and drizzle. And then there's like moments of where it's clear and it's nice. The temperature is mostly comfortable. Like I'm going around in a short sleeve collared shirt, shorts, and carrying a water bottle, a little hat, and I'm good to go. I'm rocking Crocs, by the way. Crocs all day.
Yeah.
Well, they're amphibious, right? So you get them wet, you go through there's like a river we can cross, you clean your feet off because it's covered in mud. You know, I think Crocs are super comfortable, right?
Yeah,
They
just
dry
very
off.
simple and yeah, easy to clean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stepping on
a
like a
big fan.
nail though. That's maybe a nail would like go right through them.
I don't want to test that theory. But yeah, I hope there's no nails out in the rainforest. Shouldn't
I
be.
guess they could make like a rugged croc with like a dense rubber sole, more thin, same weight somehow.
Yeah. They could make it so that I'm sure there's tech out there that is rubbery, it's soft, and then when you try to puncture it, it hardens and doesn't allow the puncturing to happen.
Huh.
We have some pretty interesting tech out there. We
Yeah.
have shock absorbers that are super thin and fluid and movable, and then as soon as something hits it, like high kinetic energy, it just like stops it and dissipates the energy. It's like an orange type of foam gel, and they use it
Yeah.
in like hockey gear. I don't know if it's how new the
Yeah.
tech is, but I started to see. I don't have it in any of my motorcycle gear. I have fucking styrofoam, so I'm gonna need to upgrade my gear, at least the inserts, because I don't want to. It's fucking foam, man. Like it's fucking shit. So, and also like the
Yeah, I
helmets
think
too, motorcycle
what is it
helmets.
called? I think they're called like non-Newtonian fluids. And I saw a video about it
Okay,
where like
there
if
you go.
you
Yeah,
yeah, there was like a barrel, like it was like a large barrel full of it, and you could like run across the top of it as if it was like a solid sort of like fairly thick floor. But if you like stood on it and stayed still, you'd like start sinking. Uh and yeah, it was kind of like yeah, the harder your foot hit it, the more solid it would be. And then if you just stood there, you'd like sink into it. And so yeah, it was like you're describing like the more kinetic energy would harden it.
yeah. I mean, it'd be kind of terrifying if it was a tub of it that was,
Quicksand.
yeah, he, it
Yeah.
kind of closes over your head. I don't think it
Uh,
would though. No, it wouldn't. There's no way. Hope not. Oh, by the way, I
yeah.
did actually. Speaking of quicksand, I actually fucking got stuck in quicksand before, and it's like it's instantaneous. Yeah, like, it looked like it was a dry kind of desert. I don't know how to describe.
Right.
It's nothing you've ever seen before. Like it looked like it was just dry and there was nothing there, and then like you step on it and it just like you're fucking hip deep in this shit and you're not
Wow.
going anywhere. Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't sink
Yeah,
to
it's some kind
my
of like
neck.
mixture of like sand and water, so that like it doesn't really look like it has water, but then there's like enough water in it that it's not really, you can just step through it or something.
The top is all like hardened and dry, right? At
That's
least
a lot
when
quicker than I imagined, though. Like it sounds like it was like almost like just like a liquid.
instantaneous, yeah, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a
But
liquid.
was it easy to pull out?
God no. It took work.
Yeah, that sounds
Took a
like
lot of work.
quicksand then.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some kind of like
but
suction once you step in there.
I wasn't sinking to my head or anything. I don't think it was a deep one, and I don't think we can die
Yeah.
in quicksand. I thought that was just a myth. So yeah, it's like it was interesting, and then I smelled. Oh man, did that stuff stink.
Huh.
Kept the mosquitoes off me though. At least that area where my hips below. But the mosquitoes would rip me apart from the hips above. I was in.
Yeah.
It was actually in Alberta where this happened. There's some sort of like park,
Huh.
national park, marsh. Horrible place. Don't never go. I'm not even gonna try to find the name. Just brutal. Everything. I don't like anything in Alberta, man. Sorry. Nature wise, God no. Unless you're like
The
going to
oil
Banff or
sands.
whatever, but not
Maybe there was
interested
oil
in.
in that sand.
God, I don't know. Yeah. Surprisingly, at this resort, there's tons of French people. I think they outnumber us English folks.
Huh. Wonder
Or at least
what,
people.
maybe like a school vacation or something.
I don't know. Just people from Quebec, Montreal, Paris. I think they'll get
Is
a bit of
Costa
English in
Rica
them.
like what do they speak in Costa Rica? Like Spanish or maybe French even or something?
Spanish, yeah.
I guess French is close to Spanish.
Close enough. Yeah. If you already speak French, I mean, you already you got some familiarities. So
Yeah.
I'm picking up on some words. No, not really. Who am I kidding? Some of the words seem like they're English.
Yeah.
Like I see some English
Yeah.
resemblance. In other words, not at all. I don't know. I think Spanish is more useful than French in my mind. If you're gonna be visiting the equator, getting away from the north.
Hmm.
But I think you can get by with English wherever you go. Though we were trying to talk to some locals, and they barely had any English in them. So
Right. That would be such a huge advantage. Like if you're from like a country like that and English is not your first language and you do learn English, like your opportunities would just like explode, like exponentially increase because now you just have access to like all in English speaking business and everything and like tourism industry and everything just from learning like the larger language or whatever.
yeah,
Just like
language
being
definitely
like a
opens doors.
translator. Yeah.
Opens a lot of doors. You don't speak the language, they know you're not from there, and they can take advantage of you and charge you more. Right, so like
Mm.
cost of living here, apparently average income is $500 American a month.
Huh.
Crazy, $6,000 a year. That's it. They make
Yeah,
a
if it was
living.
like
They
an
just
English
pass.
speaking country and that was the case, we'd just like immigrate there and have no issue.
Hmm. Yeah, but yeah, lower cost of living, and suppose it's the way the economy is. It doesn't cost as much. I don't know if they have. It's because they just lack the amenities or what it is exactly. But
Yeah, maybe it would be hard. Maybe there's like not great plumbing and water and like,
oh yeah, like it
yeah, if that
seems
stuff
like
was not there, it'd be hard.
it seems like there's some electricity, but it seems like a lot of stuff here is like pulled from the land, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, I don't know if I've talked about being self-sufficient before, not being on the grid, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, come here. There's no point in being off the grid, fucking in Alaska or in Canada. There's no point, man. Why would you want to combat the winters? You're
Yeah.
gonna need a fuel source. You're gonna need, to heat your house. These are additional labors. Gotta chop wood for fire just to survive if you don't have propane. Are you going to need propane delivered for heating? Are you going to need gasoline or something for your vehicles in order to really get anywhere or do anything? If you're not buried in fucking snow. So, there is some beauty up there for sure. But if you want to have like a nice life and not be dependent on all that shit, it seems like you want to come closer down this way. It's simpler. It's more affordable. Costa Rica is expensive relative to Panama and the other places, but I think it's because it's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, I guess once they have a couple like resorts and tourism, then maybe people, they get like a timeshare, they get some kind of like cottage down there or something.
But timeshare, what a fucking scam that is. God, my poor aunt got suckered into that. I don't know how many tens of $1,000s she wasted. I don't think she's even had a vacation there, and it's about to expire. Oh, fucking goddamn waste that was. Could have got a mortgage on a house.
I've always heard that I've always heard timeshare is a bad deal, and
Always a
it
bad
seems like
deal.
like it doesn't seem there's anything like inherently bad. It's just that it's always like you're paying money assuming you'll get value, and then it's just that like there's other people, like you don't get the dates you want, and then it's might as well be useless. And I guess that's how it's always like for every person who does get the dates they want, someone is not getting the dates. And so like even when it's working for someone, there's like someone else paying for it too. It's not working for them.
I think it can work if you don't work a 9 to 5 and you got fucking money to throw
Yeah.
around,
Any day,
like
yeah.
extra, but not enough to be so fucking rich that you just rent the top suite whenever you want or build your own hotel kind of rich. Like, but you got money and you got freedom where it's like, and I love this place. I'm gonna come back all the time. Then
Yeah.
I think there's far better deals, far better deals that you can get instead of doing that. God, I can't believe she paid tens of thousands of dollars for it. Crazy. But people make these mistakes.
Yeah,
I had an ex tell me,
it's funny
eh?
how like I remember walking around a resort one time and there was like a timeshare like sales center, and they were always like asking if we wanted like free t-shirts and trying to get us to go in there. And like my parents already knew, like they just had heard that timeshare was a bad deal, so like they kept telling us like you don't really want to talk to them, like it's going to be a bad deal. So we always like avoided them. uh but it seems, yeah, it's so easy. Like if somebody had no idea and they start talking like, oh, you can get, here's the rate, here's the times you can come back, and like, they pitch it to you, like, and you sort of trust them, and you don't get like you don't get anyone telling you the opposite opinion, then yeah, I feel like it's just like a scam that would just go forever almost until you have somebody like in a big way publish like the facts and convince like a large amount of people that it's nothing, until the industry like starts to dry up or something.
I had an ex tell me it was a bad deal. All these salespeople trying to sucker me in. And yeah, I was a nice dude about 10 years ago. I was sociable and, just didn't shut people down. Now I'm a fucking asshole. Shut people down if they try to sell me shit. It's like, I don't want it. Leave me alone. Don't try to sell me your
Yeah,
fucking
same.
coconuts. I want nothing to do with it.
Sometimes I'm just
Um,
like walking on the street and people here, like, there's like someone who's clearly just wants to like hand you a flyer and like tell you some kind of charity thing, but they'll start by just being like, "Oh, hey, how's it? Like, how are you doing?" And like, as if you respond, they'll launch into this like multi-tiered like sales pitch. So you just have to like, you have to be like rude and like not like just be completely silent and like walk past when they're just like asking you like, oh hey, like how's your day going? And it's just like, I know that this is the entry point to like a whole thing, so like I'm not going to interact at all.
yeah. You could say hi back, and then they start, and you say, "I'm not interested in anything right now." Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, You don't have to be a complete asshole. That's even a bit much for me, bro.
Yeah, I feel like they always like catch it where it's like the energy it takes to like let them down softly is just a little bit too much energy. And so then like I just go with the much lower cost option, which is like pretend I just don't hear them even though like they're like standing right next to me.
You speak no English. Manual? I gotta learn some Spanish. Should I got what?
Duolingo. You ever tried
Duolingo?
that?
Yeah, I should have got Duolingo.
I
Oh
don't know
well.
if Duolingo people have a lot of fun with it, but I wonder. It seems like language, like just the ability to like converse in a language. I don't know if it can be taught in a gamified way. Almost like you learn a lot of vocabulary and stuff from like Duolingo, but then there's like you know going out into the world and piecing a sentence together and like hearing words pronounced differently is like a different thing that like Duolingo doesn't claim to teach that. It's teaching you like the vocabulary and stuff, which I guess is one part, but then that doesn't always lead to like you can't just go and know the language with just that one piece, which kind of is
Yeah.
it's just
They ask
almost
you.
yeah, it's like weird, yeah, when that happens.
They ask you a question and your brain seizes up because you're like, "What?
Yeah.
I
They
didn't
didn't give
learn
you
that
like four
accent."
options to choose from as a response and
Yeah.
pick the right one. Unless if they made like really like fully immersive language learning games that were like open world, like Grand Theft Auto, but like the whole game is in a different language and the game like has like stories and stuff in it that take you from being a beginner to like a novice at the language by just like exploring the city and talking to different characters, but like at first it would use like very basic grammar and then it would work you up and you'd unlock different like missions and quests, and as you get better you could like talk your way to different parts of the world or something.
Yeah, man, I think that game would flop. I don't think
Yeah,
people would be
anyone's
interested in that.
attempts at that before, people have made like attempts and they don't really take off. But it would simulate, like if it was done right, I guess it would simulate like the exact same thing as like full immersion, where like you're just in a place trying to get along and you have no choice but to like use the language. I feel like that then it's like the easiest path is like learn the language to get stuff done. And if a game could put you in that, I feel like it would be similar to just going to another country and like trying to live there.
Okay.
But I don't know,
Oh,
maybe
sure,
there's
is an
some
easy way to
difference.
learn. I don't know how to learn a
Yeah.
language, man, because I try to learn French for I don't know how many years and I just can't do it. Can't hold a conversation with them.
Yeah, I,
I
I
just
think
don't
there
know.
just isn't like everyone who speaks French like already speaks English, so there's never a situation where you can like find someone who like you can only communicate with them in French. And then like even if you go to like France and stuff, and like in Canada there isn't like you go to Quebec and like everyone speaks English, so there's no way to, if you're English you can't get like that full immersion. You can't There's never a situation where like it's like French or nothing. It's like the
Oh,
second they
actually,
detect, they'll just switch to English.
right, right here, there's a couple that fucking don't know any English at all, man. Like barely anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, French, 100%, man. I don't know where they're from, but
Huh.
and there's two girls. At least they got a tiny bit of English in them, but yeah, thick French. They're outside going right now, chatting away.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm surprised. I mean, there's so many French people here. People that speak it. I was expecting more Spanish from them, from like guests. But I guess why would locals come here? Locals don't need to come here. They live this
Maybe they're
life, right?
part of, are they like part of the same like tour agency or something? Or they just,
Who?
it's a coincidence, like all the French people? Like did they come on like this with the same company or something?
I think the owner
Or
is
just it's a
German.
coincidence? Oh
I
yeah,
think it's
maybe. So
just.
then yeah, maybe there's more marketing to them.
I think they just arrived and met. I don't think it was. They came
Yeah.
separately. I don't think they came as a group.
Maybe they did some kind of advertising campaign in France and then they all saw it. They told their friends.
Who knows? Who knows? But what I do know is got many days left, and this won't be my last trip. That's for sure. My last trip to Costa Rica was 5 years ago. More than
What
five
made
years
you
ago
pick
now.
so you go back to Costa Rica? Like what made you pick Costa Rica? Like originally, like how did you learn about it or
Originally Cancun, but the prices there,
Hmm.
they should be shot for even thinking they can list prices that high.
Yeah.
Seriously, 700. No, it was like $1,500 USD per night, all inclusive.
So you
Garden view,
never
not even
did you ever go
ocean
there?
view, Richard. No,
Yeah,
there
then
was
I guess
nothing.
we can't.
Nothing was
Yeah,
open.
I was just
Nothing was. It
wondering if
was
like I would wonder about if the facilities are like better for that price. I would hope so, but maybe not. Maybe it's just
uh,
the
maybe
same.
there was like the Atlantis in Bahamas. I don't know. Maybe that was the one I was looking at. I don't know. Like something equivalent because the building was stupid big. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a cartel money laundering fucking building. It's all it is. I don't want to support those guys. Fuck them. Yeah, but on sale, and then the other rooms were going for like $3,000 on night from sale to $5,000 a night. I'm like, okay, only fucking big business people and crypto, Bitcoin fucking people have this kind of dough to throw out a
Offshore
vacation.
crypto.
Yeah, it's like, and they
Yeah, I
don't
guess
even accept
at that
crypto.
price, like if you did go there, the people you meet are not the best people, I guess. You know, anyone that's like paying that amount, they're not really they're like starting to become like non-real people. And it's better to just meet like the middle class people that are like real, that have the same
I don't. I'd
sort of
rather not.
need problems.
I'd rather meet the ultra rich instead of middle class. That's just me.
But being to be surrounded by them in the cacao ceremony.
Actually, no, not middle class in that. Like, so I don't want to meet 9 to 5 people. They bore me, man. Sorry, you're 9 to 5 right now. I talk to you because we're friends, but those are the people
Well,
I want to
isn't
go out and meet.
but isn't it that like the problems that, you know, me and you have in life, it's fun to meet other people that face the same problems. But like those like rich people, like you know, you can't really relate to them sometimes. Like they don't
And
sympathize, I guess, with the same. Do you think?
I'm not going to an all inclusive resort to relate to people. I'm going there to have fun and let my screws loose.
Maybe you could go to like a fund, you know, they have like fundraisers, like or like I saw here, there's like something called like the Fall Gala, and like tickets are like $500, but you go there and there's like, well, this actually was like an interior, it was like an interior decorating gala, and you pay like $500 and you go there and there's like all these designers show you like how you should decorate like your one of your many rooms that you have in your house, and you get like they showed people getting free candy for some reason. That was like something I thought was not really a rich person thing, uh, but it seems like if you buy those, if you go to these like fundraiser events, I feel like the mayor would be there and stuff, and you like meet this higher class of like intellectual people and see what they're like.
Yeah, I guess if you need to get in with those people to, build your business, then great. But yeah, I don't know, man.
One time I was at like Scouts and like a guy running for mayor was there also, and like I talked to him briefly, and he like he like made direct eye contact with me the entire time, and he was like leaning forward slightly, and like he was like really like doing everything he could to seem like this like amazing listener, like he was listening to everything I said, and like that was his whole thing, like he wanted to convey like uh you know, whoever he was talking to, he wanted to like make them feel like he was really like, you know, hearing their every word and like very like in tune. And it was very strange to me. It seemed like
Who is this?
just like a generic, like, I guess low level like politician, like a guy running for like mayor or like whatever's below mayor, like some kind of county representative. But he was just like a guy who like he was like visiting, because I was at like Scout, so it was like he was like visiting like a community group, I guess, just trying to like get his name out there and like make it seem like, if he's approachable and he would be like good for the community, so I guess we'd vote for him, however voting works. But it seemed like for me it was like it was like very obvious that like he had practiced like shaking hands and staring at people in their eyes. And that was kind of a weird, it was like, I don't know if I trust people that like practice that stuff, like, and like that's part of their job, is like convincing you that they're on your side.
Yeah, no thanks.
So that's
Wouldn't
what
want to do something like that.
I assume like those people at those fancy resorts, I feel like they're all like that.
Yeah, or they just don't give a shit unless you get something that like they like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless you're rocking the designer brand or whatever. I don't know. Or they
Yeah.
could be cool. They could. You don't know who you're going to talk to. My buddy Suam was saying he talked to someone that had a fucking yacht and invited him on it with all his babes. Suam was like, "I wish I could, but I'm married. Can't do it. I'll get in trouble." So I mean, maybe they're not all bad. Maybe they just chill. If you can carry a good conversation, they're there to meet people who want to chill. See, here's the thing: is like I don't want to meet people that are doing 9 to 5. That shit doesn't interest me. I mean, that these are people who are plugged into the matrix. I want to meet people who are trying to unplug, and trying to escape and do something with their
Yeah.
life. Trying to like find happiness in other ways. Trying to find community instead of again being plugged in and solo. And you might think you got family and community, but all y'all brainwashed. Everybody's brought
Yeah.
up the same way. Go to school. Good,
I guess the
the
situation is
good
like
grades. Blue collar, white collar jobs.
If I meet somebody that is doing 9 to 5, I feel like I don't want to talk about like their job. Like, I guess that's one of the issues, is like a lot of people like that work a job 5 days a week. Like if you meet them, they talk a lot about their job, and like it turns out like
Ugh,
they don't really
gross.
think about much outside of it. And so then,
Yeah.
yeah, like I want to talk like purely what that person does when they're not like at work being told what
Yes.
to do. Yeah.
That's what I
And then
want.
people
I
have
want the
trouble with
real.
that. It's very hard to break people like when you ask them like what do you do outside work? You have hobbies, and they'll be like I watch TV, and then it's like that's not an interesting person, like is usually the conclusion then.
Try to go on a fucking dating site these days, man.
Mm.
God.
Yeah, those are all
Like,
9 to 5 people that watch TV.
yes. No, really.
Yeah, like
It's
in their
really
bio
rare.
is like, this is the show I watch, and I work as an administrative assistant at this bureaucratic place.
Yeah. Or, work a government job, which, stable income, probably underpaid. Most government jobs seem to be. But it's like, like, oh, I'm a stay at home mom or I'm a
Not a
homebody,
dating
but I
site.
love adventure. And I was like, which is it? Do you love adventure or are you a homebody? Like,
Yeah,
like make up your mind. So it's rare that like I get someone who's actually genuinely adventurous.
yeah. Yeah, that is a strange thing. Like I guess it's like statistically like people who like adventure end up meeting people in the real world, and that's their dating pool. And then people who like are in this sort of like space where they want adventure, but they're not really getting adventure. They just want like they want like adventure to come find them. Then they're like on a dating site like trying to find some way to break out of the routine, but they want like they're not really doing it themselves. They're like sort of just hoping that like that will happen for them or something.
If you see that part again, it didn't register for some reason. I thought I heard one thing and then it didn't
Yeah.
make sense. So you want to say that again?
Yeah, just my idea was that like the people who are getting out there getting real adventure, they are meeting people in the real world, and so then they have no need
Yeah.
for like, yeah, and then the people on the dating sites are like Like I just have this impression of like someone who is doing the 9 to 5 grind and they don't know how to get out of it, and so they're hoping that like they'll meet some like adventure seeking person through the dating website that will like pull them out of their routine and start doing fun things with them. But that's sort of like, you know, hoping that someone else will like save you from your grind, whereas like, you know, really like you're the person that can save you. You know, you just get out of your own grind and then you'll meet the people and stuff, and then like, but then of course then you won't be on the dating website, so someone else looking to be pulled out, yeah, you can't save them because you're gone, you're left the dating site already.
That's where it gets confusing. And I think you almost lost me
Yeah.
again, Richard. But yeah, basically, like, if you're legit and you're out there living an adventurous life, maybe you still might be on the dating site, but there's a good chance you're gonna be meeting like-minded
Yeah.
people out and about, right? I was just talking to a
Well, I
buddy
guess that
there.
that sounds like what, like, or like you'll be on the dating site, but you'll find the dating site like depressing, basically, because you can sort of like
Well,
read the bios and
yeah,
see that it's not really,
yeah,
it's like
a
people
lot
of
of
a certain
garbage.
category.
What's different about this time is surprisingly I'm getting likes. And it might be because my bio is good. I don't know. But I wrote that I can prefer entrepreneurial women. And I
That's
have
interesting.
and that I can dom if needed. It's like dominate and take over.
How do
And
you dominate an entrepreneur though?
well, they don't want to run everything all the time, right? They're
Oh,
busy with their passion building something. They don't want to have to do everything all the time. They might be bosses or leaders, but in the relationship, they might want someone to take control. And
is
so
that the
Dom could be like sexual, or you take control of the bedroom and they're submissive, or it could be like you do the scheduling and the events and you like pick the dinner places and whatever else, because they're just so exhausted because they're pushing themselves. I like those type of people. Like I dated one and I really clicked with her, and I realized like I really resonate with that energy. Thinking outside the box, thinking outside the 9 to 5, looking at different ways to generate income, new ways that you might never would have thought before, things that might seem impossible. I love that stuff. Do I actually want to do the work? Not really. It's almost like a hobby for me. So, yeah, that's kind of
right?
weird. It's like being an entrepreneur is like a hobby for me, and I only do it because it's interesting, not to actually make money. But there's money to be made from it, and it's crazy money to be made from it. Like I just did Airbnb in the summertime and I'm laughing. But it's like
Mm.
I don't do it to make money. I do it because it interests me, which is a which like that's amazing. Yeah, you're doing something to learn a new skill set, to push beyond a boundary that you thought you had, that you created for yourself. Because we create all of our own boundaries, really. Like I have this internal dialogue saying, "Oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you can't get that attractive girl because you don't look a certain way, or blah blah blah." And I limit myself because of my internal dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never be able to build a resort or get the capital. But no, I really actually could. I just need to really want to. So the question is, what do you really want to do? And if you really want to do it, don't talk yourself out of it, do it. And I mean, it's so simple. Why am I even saying it? It's almost like common sense. If you really want to do something, do it. And that passion behind you is going to fuel you in your endeavor.
Yeah.
So I like that. Like not having to make money to survive, but because I want to do something that just happens to generate money. So it's like finding almost like a purpose. And one thing I'm considering is, helping people navigate Veterans Affairs Canada, soldiers, current serving. It'd be harder with the vets that are out, but ideally current serving, currently serving. And then there's like naturopath, just like get the degree, it's paid for, whatever, and then just help people. You could charge some money for like the tests and stuff, but it could be like just straight up, I do this because I want to. And there could be easy money to be made from it, sure. It's remote, but You learn stuff that not only can help other people, but it can help yourself. So if you're like on the cutting edge of all the studies that are out there, like you're looking at endocrinology, hormones, whatever, how it's all linked together, health, like lifestyle, and you help somebody go from like being super sick, living a sedentary lifestyle, not sleeping correctly, stressed, just absolutely miserable. Because I've been there, I've experienced that kind of suffering. And one, you can shed some hope and be like, you don't have to live like that, and there is a way to get out of it, and I've done it. So you kind of like give them some hope, and then actually like show them a way where they get better over time. But part of me believes that you can lead people to, like the analogy of the horse, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer too, is like you can teach somebody everything they could possibly need to know to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle, and they won't lift a fucking finger if it's free anyway. And that's why I'm starting to think too, is like maybe I should charge money, because if they're coming to me to pay for my time and energy, it means that they're serious and they're going to actually listen to what I say and apply it.
Yeah.
So I have to charge money, because charging money is the only way to really engage people. Otherwise, they're just
Yeah,
going to waste all
basically.
your time. But yeah, like I'm doing stuff because I want to do it, because there's something to learn, and it has a direct connection to you and your life, bettering yourself, bettering the people you care about. And the more I talk about
Right.
this stuff, like the more I realize what my gaps are in knowledge. Like, oh, I don't remember all the organs and which hormones they are responsible for, which processes what. Like, I don't have that image in my head anymore. It's gone. I had it briefly, and then there's only like it's really fragmented. Like as I'm describing stuff, as I'm talking about it and describing stuff, I'm like, oh, I have a gap in knowledge here, and I have a gap in knowledge there, and so now I need to study. But it's not until I start teaching it to other people that I realize that these gaps exist. It's like I draw
Right.
a blank and I have to kind of like circle around, but really, I just if I had the terms, then I would sound that much more credible.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, what got us into that? Oh yeah, me not wanting to talk to deal with 9 to 5 people. And here's the thing too: is like I'm courting someone who's a teacher doing a 9 to 5. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not someone I'm interested in.
At least they get the summer off.
And that is, I think, the saving grace.
the
They have a
one
cottage.
saving.
They get March break. They get the summertime off. Yeah, and they get the winter break too. So they get some decent periods of being able to enjoy themselves. But the rest of the school year is a fucking grind, and it's stressful. They're under resourced. They got to prepare their own lessons. I hear, deliver
Yeah.
it, teach it in a way, and also
Do all
too
the
like
marking.
yeah, but also the classes, they're not what they used to be. They're larger, and then you got special needs kids in there.
Yeah.
You got kids that are, let's say you're a grade 4 class, you got kids performing at grade 1, you have to give them a tailored curriculum for grade 1 and do one more time, individualized learning plans, programs for them. That's bullshit. You're gonna pull that kind of shit, you need a teacher's aide or two. And they don't have it. At least that's what I hear.
Hmm.
So this is what she's doing. I was actually courting her. I haven't had a chance to meet her. She got COVID before I went on my trip, and then she wouldn't see me, which is fair
I
because
guess that's
I'm
a
going on a trip.
regular occurrence. Like, you're around so many kids all day, you're gonna get whatever they have. But then you have
Yeah,
a
straight up.
solid immune system after that.
You think, but my friend has kids in daycare, and they're always sick. Like in daycare, they get like super viruses, man. So I don't know. I just think they constantly mutate and evolve and continue to trigger our immune system. Then I think they're working us and causing us stress. The immune system needs to be worked, sure. We need like exposure to stuff, but do we need a virus constantly attacking our system? No, I don't think that adds any value. it means that we get to produce the antibodies for that virus for the next time it attacks. But if the virus is always evolving because it has the ideal conditions to do so, because the population is too close together, well, it's just gonna keep fucking making us sick. So I don't see the benefit of that. I think it's a scenario I don't want to be in. Like, putting kids in a daycare in a community that's self-contained where people are responsible, sure. That's not what you get in suburbia. I'm just gonna call it suburbia. And suburbia is gonna be everything that you see around you. Capitalism, the grind, suburbia. Because maybe not the city piece, but like everything around it, like the villages, towns, like the way they're laid out. Yeah, you got your companies and the products that they sell, or you got the grocery stores and stuff like that. But really, like where people are living, it seems to be a lot of the time seems to be like suburbs. Yes, I know
Yeah.
there's standalone in the countryside, and there's the rich people with their nice estates, but for the most part, it's suburbia.
Yeah, it's quite rare. There's like small pockets downtown in cities that are like where people live in like a dense, people, businesses, parks. Like there's like these tiny areas that are like it would be decent to like live there. There's people around, there's nightlife and stuff. And then outside of that, it's just like these quiet suburbs with people inside houses and then the country, and there's relatively few places where like stuff is happening and there's like events and things to do and like a nice walking street or something.
Unless you're like, yeah, in Toronto or something. I don't know. Or one of the big cities.
Yeah.
Then the cost of living's to the roof.
Yeah, it's hard to get. It's like competitive to like get to these areas
I'll
that have
just
like a
say
nice like slice of things.
instead of suburbia, I'll just stick to being plugged in. Because it doesn't matter where these people live, if they're not wealthy and able to live off of the income their assets are generating, well then they have to work. Unless they
Yeah.
have some sort of passive income coming from a source. And they're ultimately that passive income coming from a source would in a way make them wealthy. Because they can pay for their lifestyle. They don't actually have to work. Jesus, these fucking French people are loud. So I don't know if you can hear the man, but I think I have noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, I can off and on I can hear, but not it's pretty quiet. Uh
Noise canceling headphones, and I still hear them. Wow.
they they want you to overhear and learn by osmosis.
But yeah, next
So
time at the resort.
when did you get there? Did you just get there
Uh,
like did you fly in like a few days ago or
I got
today or
here
something?
last night.
Yeah.
Last night, man. This
That's
was
cool.
the first full day. It was
Wow.
good. It was eventful.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah,
Anything
to
else
have
to
like
talk
a
about?
stretch of days. No, that's it for me.
Yeah, I think I'm good too, buddy.
Yeah.
Apologies again for the late start.
I guess you'll be
But we
there
can make
next week too. But yeah,
yeah,
we'll see. We can connect and see if it works out.
see how the caca ceremony goes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. I had an
All right.
early morning, and so I'll catch you later, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.